Hey YouTube, today I thought I would talk about the Perispirit and spiritual fluids. So to understand spiritualism and our spiritism and to understand Kardec practices, you must read the Allan Kardec's Book of Mediums, which I will link below, and if anyone has any questions after reading it, I can do more videos or just reply to you. So when we talk about spiritual fluids, we're basically talking about currents and energy currents and feeling people's vibe or energy. And our energy bodies is made up of a perispirit. And this is what we talk about with spiritual fluids. So when you see the gases in the water cup, those are spiritual fluids. Those are currents of a spirit, but we have these spiritual fluids and a current around ourselves as well, and we react to other people's spiritual fluids in a good way or a bad way. And so that's why people say, if someone died and someone reincarnated, then how can you be in contact with them? Well, we can be in contact with perispirit fluids of other people who are incarnated and also people who are disincarnated. When you reincarnate, you get a different spiritual body and your soul enters a different life and you gain a new personality, but the person you were remains behind as a ghost self in your old perispirit. And so that's who we're in contact with in mediumship. When we talk about spirits of the dead, is we're talking to their perispirit, and in their perispirit remains their old personality. And so this perispirit, a lot of people used to say that Madame Blavatsky and Theosophists were spiritists, but they're actually not. She criticized spiritualism, saying that we are just in contact with the shells, personality shells, and not actually the souls, people themselves. And these shells will eventually dissipate. That's why it's hard to be in contact with people who have been dead a very, very, very long time if they have not been venerated or have an energy source. And this is why negative dead try to drain energy source off to maintain their perispirit, to maintain themselves. Because if not, then eventually their energy will they'll just fail to exist. They will dissipate into nothing. And so that's why ancestor veneration maintains this perispirit, but also elevates it so it does not remain low-level earthbound material around the earth. It doesn't need to, at a certain level, it doesn't need to draw energy off that way through fear or draining electrical objects, because it's given spiritual light and spiritual energy through candles and prayers and through giving it food. Which brings me to the next topic of offerings. So someone was saying that they were giving their spirit guides food, lots of food. It sounded like every day they're giving them the first plate of food, and that's way too much. We only have, some people have smaller courts than others, but our spiritual guides are less in number than our ancestors, and our spiritual guides are elevated spirits. They have broken the cycle of reincarnation, and they do not need physical things. They do not need physical needs as much. So in the beginning you might find that they need more candles, they need more food, but then they won't as much. Your ancestors are a bit different. You have more of them, and you have some that are more recently dead. And so they can get a bit more food or a bit more often, but again, you don't want to be materializing them and keeping them low level by giving them too much physical things. You must remember that prayer is the most important offering that you can give, and to elevate them and to ask for light and elevation for them, and to give them prayers of progress and elevation and purification. Because through the process of purification, that's how they also go through, and we go through elevation. So I've heard that a lot of people don't think it's a good idea to give your ancestors meat. I think any type of food is okay. It's just that the animal level, or you can just say that physical offerings keep them lower. And then also, even though blood is very valued, livestock is very valued, it's just more of a material offering, and giving spirits blood also keeps them a lot more low level and more material, so they're very able to be physically present, and they're very able to enact change on the physical realm. But you might also be neglecting their spiritual needs, and you don't want a bunch of low-level spirits around that are continually needing these physical offerings. You want to elevate your spiritual court and elevate your ancestors and your spirits around you. So yeah, someone asked because they're getting this sort of very eerie kind of feeling around their guides, and they said they were giving them all this food. So that's my answer. Materialization goes way into more. There's more in-depth things I can say about that, but I just thought I'd leave it at that.